Hello. If you can see me, say hi in the comment section. Or if you can hear my voice or anything, so I can quick start this whole webinar on becoming Excel specialist. Okay. Okay. I actually wish I get a number so that I can start. I want to apologize for the delay. Apparently, there was adjustment in time in the US, so it appears that I don't know if it was a daylight saving time or anything. The adjustment happened. So basically, I was thinking that it's yet to hit 7 in Ghana, not knowing that it's already 8 in Ghana, 8 o'clock in, I mean, 8 p.m. in Ghana. Okay, currently I can see five people online. It's eight now. Okay, I just want to wait a little while because of the I mean, because I was supposed to notify. And apparently, please kindly subscribe to my page, okay? Just in case some of these things, as you can be notified. Um, it's rather unfortunate it happened this way, but either ways, I have to start something. And hopefully, if I have to do this again, today we're going to do something about understanding what the certified Excel specialist program is all about, and also what it entails in a way, the benefits of it, and how you can get certified or how you can become a Microsoft Excel specialist. Okay. Apparently, I did this in 2020, or I think 2020, 2019, 2020. Um, I actually didn't know about this. A friend actually exposed me to this whole thing, and I've never regretted taking this initiative to pursue this certification program. Let me just tell a little bit about myself. I'm currently a certified Microsoft Excel specialist. That's not the end of it. Apparently, I'm supposed to also do the Microsoft Excel experts, but I'm still working on that one. Okay, I'm also a certified Six Sigma white belt holder. I'll come to this. There's more I'm doing on Six Sigma, but I'll come to this later. I'm a Tableau developer, and Tableau also has its own certification that I also have to do. There's a specialist certification program. There's an associate certification program. Yeah, and I'm also a graduate of Valley University. That's where I did my BBA accounting degree program. And currently, I am an MBA candidate or an MBA student with the University of Illinois Springfield. I started this program this year, so I came here this year in August. And I want to say a little bit about this. The reason why I feel like being certified will help you or propel you to wherever you want to be. I'm actually on a scholarship here in the University of Illinois Springfield. And one of the things that actually helped me secure this scholarship was the fact that I was a certified Excel specialist. It's quite competitive to be selected for this scholarship, and that's the Graduate Public Student Internship Program. So apparently, what happened was that I had four interview slots. I spoke to some few friends who told me they had two, some had one, but I had four, and actually went through the requirements, and I realized that so much happens in the area of Excel when it comes to these public institutions. So probably they need someone who most of them chose me because of the fact that I have this certification and they will need my skills in the area of Excel. Okay, so I must say that every young graduate or everyone who thinks or who feels that um, he needs to move on to the next level in life, for me, I feel like it's best you get the certification so that you add to whatever you have. Okay, so the roadmap to becoming a certified Excel specialist or a Microsoft Excel specialist. So we will be actually be delving into looking at the certified Excel specialist certification program. We'll be looking at the skills that are required to pass this particular exam. Again, we'll also be looking at where to acquire the practice test for the exam and also the vouchers for the exam. Okay. Apparently, I think the practice test is by Gmetrics. I'll speak a lot about them. And what they do basically is that they give you, they sell exam vouchers. I mean, practice test vouchers. So I can practice on your own till you finally write the exam. So I think that one is around $45 or so on their website. And the exam voucher for the Microsoft Excel specialist is $100. But there's a way we can go about this. And I'm not saying we go in the wrong way, you know. Um, I work with this colleague who is with Setipot, and we can affordably, at least we can reduce it or we can sell it at a discount to everyone who is interested. Okay. So the benefits of, and also we'll be looking at the benefits and opportunities of being a certified Excel specialist. I think that's one of them that I've actually told you one of them and how it has actually helped me to get a scholarship here in the US. Okay. So let's pick a little bit. So let me talk a little bit about Certiport. Certiport is the exam um it's more like an exam body, okay, that hosts all these exams because they have a wide range of exams that they do conduct. Um, and the business was established in 1997, and I think in 2012 it was acquired by Pearson View Business, okay. And so currently it's more like Certiport's a Pearson View Business, okay. So what they do is that they provide exam certification, development, delivery, and also program management services. So basically, it's about they provide you with online exams that you can do to get certified. So Microsoft has their exams hosted on them, and I mean to them. So they actually conduct the exam and also they do the proctoring so that you can better so that it's more like they are actually helping giving you the platform to do the exam at the comfort of your home, and they monitor everything that you do. Okay, so that's how it's like. So Certiport one, you need to first register with Certiport, and this is the link to Certiport. Okay, that's the link you're seeing over there. And once you click on this link, you go to new users. Okay, I think I've placed this link in my bio on YouTube. So basically, what you have to do is that you click on the link, and you under new users, you click towards register, and you key in all required details that they will need. And right after the registration, you have to log on and scroll down to a point or a section called exam group ID. Okay, so the exam group ID, under that you have to key in this code. Okay, so if you want to enjoy that benefit of that discount that I'm referring to, then basically you need to register under this particular code so that we can reach you and do business with you in our own little way. Okay, so Certiport provides a wide range of exams, and among this is the hot office, Microsoft Office Specialist, or I mean Excel Specialist program that sells for $100 without retake, but it can be sold at a discount, as I have already said. Okay, so Gmetrics. Okay, so what is Gmetrics and the cost of the certified Excel Specialist practice test? Okay, so currently it's $40, as I said. Gmetrics, what actually they released their first practice test in 2008, and what they do is that they give you a platform for you to practice this exam that I'm referring to. So just in case you don't have a tutor yourself and you want to do some practice, you buy this one for a year. You can do the practice for a year and then you can just go in and write the exam. So basically, the platform they give you is just like the main exam. Sometimes it's even tougher or a bit difficult than the main exam. So once you're able to do um, the exam on Gmetrics or the practice test on Gmetrics, you are very sure that you pass the exam at the first attempt. Okay, I actually did that on the first attempt and I passed my and I got 961 over, and the pass mark is 700. So for getting 961, I think I passed perfectly well. Okay, so when you go on to Gmetrics, you see that they do all these exam, okay, or I mean sorry, they do all these practice tests for these exams. So okay, so you have the Microsoft Office 2013, 2016, 2019, the Adobe CC 2018, 2019, Autodesk certified user, Autodesk certified professional, Microsoft Technology Associate. All these are exam that um, trust me, if you really want to go far, it's not just about the first degree nor the second degree. Trust me, you need to go through some of these because that's the only way you can be recognized. I know some of you have been using Excel for years, but the thing is that how do you prove that you are certified, or how do you prove that um, you are good enough, or have the skill to use Excel? The only way is to show that certification. And I think you will bear with me that regardless of the fact that you can know a skill very well, and it even happens in our businesses. There will be someone who has been in the organization for years. The person doesn't have a first degree, but the person is very good because he's used to most of the things he does. But unfortunately, someone will come with a first degree or a master's degree, and the person will be a manager, and this person will be more like a technician. So the question is that if you want to have that facelift, okay, in your organization, want people to recognize you as a distinct person in your organization, then the best way to do is to get certified and be recognized in your organization. Okay. So as I said, the certified the exam with retake. The retake is just in case you don't pass the exam at the first attempt, there's this opportunity for you to redo the exam. Okay, yeah, without any extra amount. But when you, I think on the Certiport website, that one is $120, but we can sell it to you at a discount of $100. And also the exam without retake is $80. I think that's $100 on the certified, Certiport website. And the geometrics practice test is $38. And as I showed you, I think it's $40 on their website. And the thing is, with our association with Gmetrics and Setiport, we've been able to buy several batches in bulk, and that's why we are able to sell at a discount. It's not that we went through any other legal means. Yeah, so once you side, you work with them, you get the opportunity to also sell their products, and they sell to you at a discount based on how much you are buying them. Okay, yeah. So and we're looking at, for those of you who want the exam with retake and the geometrics practice test. This how much we can sell to you at a discount amount of $140. Okay, and for those who want the exam without and the geometrics practice test, it's $120. Okay, yeah, okay, thank you. So let's look at something about the Microsoft Office Specialist Certification Program. So it's not just about Excel that I'm actually referring to. It's a lot of them. It includes Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Word Expert, Excel Expert, Access Expert, and Outlook. Okay, and each of these exams takes 50 minutes to finish, as you can see here. It takes 50 minutes to finish. Even this one is with the Office 2019. Um, um, that was cool. I don't know. There's really no difference. Sometimes it's just about the other extra features that they bring on. So maybe you'll be examining on the extra features. But if you are comfortable, you can take the 2016. But it's still the same price though. It's the same price. So in 15 minutes, you can tell that you are either certified or uncertified kind of. So it's 35 questions in all. Okay, it's 35 questions in all. And what it seeks to do is that it gives you some little bit of multiple choice, and also most of the questions are hands-on. Okay, so it gives you an idea of what to do. It tells you to, let's say, delete this particular rule, then you do that. Let's say insert rule, and you have to do that. In a GFE, we'll be looking at some of these questions. And because of time, I may not necessarily go so much into it, but I'll give you an overview and a feel of what to expect, just in case you are actually sitting for that exam. Okay, so there are all 35 questions for me for the Excel. Um, yeah, so 35 questions for the Excel specialist program, and for the Excel expert is 25 questions. Okay, yeah. So now let's look at the next five Excel. Why to get As of February 2022, over 800,000 companies in the United States use Excel. Okay. Another tool is a Microsoft 365 Stack. Okay. And this is a research that was done by Statistica.com. Okay. And the thing is, actually, I'm actually working with the Department of Natural Resources as an intern or graduate trainee, and we use Excel in most of the things we do. Basically, the system is a bigger system, okay, that has each and every government organization working in there. So once you go in there, you pick the information, and you try to, work on the information to suit your report. Okay, so there's nothing like you going to a system and you getting what you need for yourself. You have to bring the information or download the information, extract the information to Excel. Then you have to work on the information so you can get the report. And trust me, just look at the number, over 800,000 companies. So if you are certified, then if you get the opportunity to come to the US, of course, you will never go unemployed. There are a number of organizations that are in need um, of these skills, and it's something that you can look into and also advise yourself on what to do. Okay. And having certification can make you more attractive. I mean, yeah, for a job candidate, and also it increases your value with your current employer. And I don't want to go into my relationship with my my supervisor, and it's been great so far. And sometimes what I always say that when you have the skills, there's nothing like you being afraid to perform a task. Personally to myself, I don't mean to brag or anything, but never in my life have I ever feel that I can't do this as I mean I can't do this report, or I may not be able to do something, or I have the fear that I may fail when it comes to the use of Microsoft Excel. And it gives me some bit of happiness, or it gives me a lot of happiness when I'm going to work, because I know that every task that will be given me, regardless of how huge it may seem, I'll be able to do that. And sometimes I do speak with friends back in Ghana, friends everywhere, and they are working on certain Excel projects, and it takes them time to work on some of these projects. But once you are good with it, I mean, you are good with Excel, you have the skills, you have the technical know-how with Excel. There are some of these projects which can even take you less than um, 30 minutes to finish. So because in Excel you don't have to do things the manual way. You can do a lot with Excel once you know the right tools to use in there. So the average salary of just having the certified Excel specialist certification is $63,379. That is glassdoor.com. Actually, have references to this whole assertions. Okay, so you can actually check to be sure of yourself. But this is for the certified. So much influences what you are paid in organization, the number of years. Sometimes even maybe your university degree also affects that. Yeah. So this is not necessary. I mean, this is just having that certification. You are paid around this much to be paid. Okay. So someone has this certification, the person is being paid more because of other things like years of experience with the organization, and also probably his first degree and master's degree as well. And I always say that for those IT guys, they have their software that they do use, but for business and all other um, people within within the or in every organization, for me, I feel like the best you can do for yourself is to know Excel. And I remember very well that in my previous jobs, I was able to build even a payroll template with Excel, and I was able to send pay slips to employees with Excel, and a number of people can confirm to that. And there's a lot that I do with Excel. There's a lot I do with Excel. And one day I'll be conducting a webinar on how you can send pay slips, or how you can create a payroll application with Excel. It comes in very handy, and it's for me it saves a lot of cost when you are working for an organization, and you don't have to pay so much for a payroll software, but you can sit and do something for the organization. For me, I feel like the organization needs to applaud you on some of these things, but you need to gain the skills right, because it's payroll and you can't get anything wrong on that. Okay, so the content of the Certified Specialist program, the things we'll be looking at, how to create and manage worksheets and workbooks. Okay, this is basically what you have to know to pass the exam. Okay, manage data cells and ranges. Insert data and cells and ranges. Insert data in cells and ranges. So how to insert data in cells and ranges, and how to format cells and ranges. These are basic stuff that we all do every now and then. So they are not new. If you should ask me, they are not new in any way. But sometimes if you're not confident enough, you might sit for the exam and you might fail, not because you didn't know it, but because of the pressure. Maybe you weren't so prepared, or you weren't so prepared for the exam. Okay, yeah, and also the C part is what creating tables, yeah, creating and managing tables in Excel. This is one important tool, especially when you are doing more of pivot tables and that. You need to create a table. You need to understand how to use the table in the area of data analysis or data analytics with Excel. And also how to perform operations with formulas and functions. For me, this is the icing on the cake. If you know the formulas, if you know the functions, trust me, you are good to go. And this is where most of the manual bits in piece is being taken away from you. So you try to automate, Excel sheets, automate dashboards. Once you are very sure on how to perform these operations with formulas and functions, okay, and also how to create charts and objects. How to create charts and objects, okay. Um, so basically, it's something that we do. Trust me. So let me just head straight to the Excel sheet and do some few demonstrations on the Excel sheet. Okay. Yeah. So I did this particular Excel sheet so that we can have an idea of follow it one by one on more of these things. So first, what we need to know is that we need to create a management sheet. And in creating a management um it's the basic thing. So it will ask you a question, and sometimes it's quite funny, like ask you to create a workbook. So the question is, how do you create a workbook in Excel? Um, there are several ways, but personally I use two mostly, and you can just click on start on the start button. Okay, depending on the version of Windows you're using. I can't remember. Mine is I think Windows. Yeah, Windows 18 also. I'm not so sure. So yeah, Windows 11. Yeah, Windows 11. So what you do basically is that you come here and you type Excel. So suppose you want to open Excel for the first time, or you want to open an Excel workbook or create an Excel workbook. This is how you do it. So just imagine these are stuffs you do only that because you're not certified. You may not get that recognition that you need. So once I do that, it opens for me and I have my Excel sheet handy. Okay, coming in handy. So or I can use the run. So where I do the Windows R, and this one opens for me. I type in Excel, I hit enter, and that one also opens an Excel sheet for me as well. So as you can see, the first one is book one, second one is book two. So okay, so all these ones are templates in there, like the personal monthly budget, they are all templates. I can also search online and get some templates that you can use. Depending on the nature of the internet, sometimes it updates and different ones also comes in. Yeah. So that is it. So let's just say that once we do this, we are getting a point for each of them. And also there's this one that we have to look at how to worksheets. So how do we add workbook? So what's even a worksheet? So basically I don't have to define that. Let me just explain. This is what we call a worksheet. Okay. The sheet one you are seeing is the worksheet. But the entirety of this whole piece is the workbook. Okay. So the workbook, if you are asked what's the name of the workbook, or you have to say the name of the workbook, this the workbook we are referring to this particular one. One is the workbook, okay, and this one is the sheet, the worksheet. So if you want to create a worksheet, this is how you want to do it. You right click on this one here, click insert, click worksheet, then insert a worksheet, okay, for you. Or better still, you can just click on control, you click and you hold on control, then you click on this one. You type control, you click, you right click and you hold on it, then you try to drag it. So you can see that there's an arrow moving here. So once you do that, you have also created a worksheet, okay, where you can just rename it. Um, okay, and also there's this part where you import data from limited text, okay, text files. There's also other ways that for that one you get to data, okay. When you get data, or data, depending on where you you find yourself. Um, Interestingly, there is this one called data from text or CSV. Okay, once you click that one, and there is this particular CSV file that you have, you can just click on that one to get certain information that you need for yourself. Okay. And on this one, I'll be doing a giveaway that one here. So if there's any text file, you can just click on that one. So maybe I can just click on this. I don't even know what is that. Okay. Let me not even try it. Okay. So you can get information from even from the web, and I'll be demonstrating that to you in a jiffy. That's what I call the giveaway. So Excel can do a lot of stuff. Excel can do a whole lot of stuff. Probably your supervisor or your boss or anyone can ask you to get certain information for him. Okay, you can be asked that. I mean, total world population. Say okay. We can come to you and say okay, Edward. I need this particular information. Is it possible you can get me the world population? So when you go to Weathermeter, that's where probably can get some real-time information. And the information updates every now and then. Trust me, it's really amazing. Sometimes I look at it and people are dying, people are also leaving, and people are also coming in, and it tells you about life. Okay, so this is countries by the population in 2022. Okay, as you can see, this is a whole list of information that we're seeing here. So supposing you are asked to get this information, how are you going to do it? Are you going to copy this? Like I'm copying and just paste them. Just come here and paste them. Let's see how it will look like. Okay, so this is how it's looking like. Okay, it's not bad. I think it's even better than I thought. But there's a way you can do this, okay, without having to do what I did. And the information will come perfectly well without these hyperlinks in there. So the way to do that is to get the web address, and Excel will go into the website and actually grab this whole information for you. And trust me, it's just amazing. Okay, there's a lot you can do with Excel. Okay, so once you come to get data, okay, from web, you click on from web, and then you copy the website address, then you just paste it here. You click OK. So Excel will try to navigate into the website and try to get the table from the website. Okay. So we are waiting for Odometer to give us the information. Okay, so the information is loading. Okay. The information is loading and it's taking a while. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, so it's loading the information and it's loading every table in there. So supposing there are about 3 tables in the website, trust me, it will give you all that table. So okay, so let's click on table 0. So once you click on the table, you get a preview here. So let's click on table 0. Let's see what happens. So you can see that the information on the website that is right here on their website is what has been displayed here. Okay, so just imagine you didn't know this and you were actually doing this manually. You were typing everything again. um, it will take you days to complete. You might think that your boss is stressing you or your supervisor is stressing you too much, but the problem is that you just didn't have the skills to better speed up the whole thing for yourself. So once I get this information, I just click load. So the information will just load and you get it nice, cool, and fresh, as you can see here. So it's telling you that about 235 rows has been loaded, 34 errors, and the errors is referring to the not available errors where we call the NA. So some of them were maybe blank. So it gives you an idea of what you expect. So these ones are called the errors, the NA not available. So mean that the information that wasn't available there. Okay. And the good thing about this means is that once you do this, and the information keeps it's information that keeps changing every now and then. You can just come here and do a refresh. Once you refresh this data, supposing it was that kind of information that changes every now and then, you just come here, click refresh, and Excel will just fetch the information again from the website for your use. So there are a number of ways you can use Excel. Trust me. Personally, I'm not sure I've even gone above half of what you know in Excel. I'm not sure, but I do use it extensively for almost everything that I do. And I think it's something that it will be of use to you in a very good way. Okay, so basically that's what you have to look at. And there's this part where you look at search for data within workbook. I mean, how to find information within a workbook. Supposing okay, sorry, this one is control. So control. You come here, find. So suppose I want to find the word workbook. I can just come here, click next, and or I can just do find all, and every cell that had workbook in there um will show. So supposing that in the exam you are being asked that how many cells have workbook in there. I mean the word workbook in there. I think you can see what's happening here. You can tell that 17 cells, you know. So you don't have to come and do a counting and say that, okay, let me count the number of books in there. The word workbooks in there. And count 1, 2, 3, 4. Like you don't need to do that. You are just stressing yourself. And also you can also match this one. So supposing it's restricting it to the case. The case I'm referring to either the lower case, the upper case, or the proper case. You can just select any of them to you can do a find all. You can see that if you're looking at just workbook, um, then there are actually 10 cells having that in there. Okay, you're looking at the case of it. So that's basically that. And also Excel has this functionality that's called name range. Okay, name range. What it does basically is that it gives you the opportunity to add a name to a particular cell range or a particular cell. So this cell here is called E10. The reason why it's called E10 is that this one being the column is in the column of E, okay, and at the row of 10, okay. So once you click on this one, you get E10, which is showing here in the name box. Okay. So once you go up, it shows you as E9. Okay. Sometimes you'll be asked that key 5,000, let's say J4, and sometimes what happens is that people want to look with their eye and say, oh, okay, this one is J10, J11, J12, which is quite wrong. What you can do basically is you can just come here. Supposing the active cell was here, you can just come to this side and do J12. And once you click enter, Excel or the active cell will move to J12. So when we are doing this exam, okay, we'll be doing few of them. I'll be demonstrating few of them for you to understand how it works. Um, it will ask you to do certain things like key, let's say 5,000 in cell this. And when that happens, what do? You need to, for me, let's say if it's cell, let's say J562, I will just do that and click enter. Then it will take me to J562 exactly. I don't have to come down, keep scrolling and scrolling. Sometimes it do happens. I see some friends and they'll be scrolling over down. And trust me, you can't scroll to the latter part of it. So why don't you just click? I mean, just type in the cell you want to look at, either R3, then it takes you to R3. That's the easiest way you can do on that. And sometimes too, you can have some let's say some numbers. kindly permit me to use this. I'm just picking some random numbers, okay? Let's say random numbers from 1000 to 2000. If I'm to click, okay, so you can see that Excel gives me some random numbers to use, at least as demonstration. So I didn't have to do thousand, 1434. Or I just gave me the numbers to use. I just gave it the range that I wanted to look at by using the rand between. Okay, so it's like random numbers between thousand and it gave me that those numbers to use. So let me just keep these numbers as values, and let me just do something. I can just highlight all these ones, okay, and give it a name here and call it random numbers. Sorry, I'm not supposed to leave a space. Okay, so I can call it, or I can just do an underscore random numbers. Okay, okay. So you just look at something. Okay, oh, I think it's too long. Is there a way I can? Let me just let me just do it random so that we can see the full bit of it. Say random. Yeah, this is cool. Okay, so as you can see, this whole test you are seeing here is called random. Okay, random. So what I can do with this particular information is that once I click here, you see that you see E7. Once I select this, you see 3R by 1C, 5R. So it's more like it's telling you that 5 rows and a column, 7 rows and a column. But the moment I come down to this one, I release the mouse so that it calls it random. So I can even do a sum of this one and say sum random. And Excel, sorry, random. Okay, and it will sum up everything that you are seeing here. So I just gave it the name range. That's what we call the name range. Okay, and the name range that you are seeing here as in name ranges. Yeah. So what I said was that it should sum out the random or the random numbers, and it actually gave me a figure. So we can do it and see if what we did was really true. We can just do a sum of this, take it from top to down, and we see we are getting the same figures. I mean the same results. Okay, and I'll come to this the sum function or the formula. I believe that most of us do have used it before. Is quite basic actually, and what it seeks to do is to actually add everything within that range for you, so that so I've seen instances where people try to do this. They'll come here, do plus this, plus this, plus this, plus that, plus this, plus that. So just imagine if you have about 1,000 rows. I mean, information in there is looking at 1,000 rows. At the end of the day, you end up wasting a lot of time. So you can use the sum, which makes it easier. And if you have even named the range, you can just do sum of what random, and probably you can get. I mean, you can still get the result as you want it. Okay, so that's one simple one that I want to show you. Um, and interesting ones like insert a column, insert a row. That's one you can, if you want to insert a row, you can just highlight the row that you want to and just do this insert. Once you click insert, add a row to it for you. And if you want to insert a column, you can just do this and to insert a column for you. So it's nothing so fancy to be worried about. Trust me, the exam is really cool. Like I don't say it's cheap. I don't want to say it's cheap. That I won't be fair to the exam folks, but it's cool. Like trust me, you don't have to stress that much to pass this exam. You just need to follow just need to follow I mean uh, the requirements of the questions, okay, or what it is that you do. That's what you need to follow. Okay, so data range and all these ones. They are quite simple, very very simple. And one interesting one that I want to show you is about how to manage data cells in ranges. Okay. Sometimes you will be working on a list, and probably you need to bring some numbers. I mean, like 1, 2, 3, to show that this one is number one, number three. Excel has a way of doing that where you can just type. There are several ways. You can just type 1 and 2, okay, and just come here and drag everything. So if you want it to end at 15, you just leave it at 15, then it works for you. The other ways you can also look at doing this, you can just do one, let's say one here, control enter, then this one appears and you click on it. So once you click on this, okay, I'm expecting to see something else and not what I'm seeing. Okay, so this series, let me just come here, fill series. Okay, let me see what to fill. No, that's not what I'm looking at. Okay, so basically, let's just narrow it to this. The Excel 2019 is maybe quite different on certain things. So let me just bother my head on some of these things. So you can just do a 1 and a 2. Okay, then you can just highlight the 1 and 2 and you drag it downwards. Okay, then you can get the information that you need. It also happens that you can even do, like, let's say Monday, Tuesday, and supposing you are working on, let's say, a data that requires you to put in the days, or I mean the days of the week, you can just drag them and you get your Saturday and Sunday. Regardless of how you want to look at it, you can do this one also. Suppose it's Monday, Tuesday, like as in it has been shortened in a way, you can just also highlight that and drag it and you get it as you want it to be. So these are the questions that are actually asked, okay, when you're doing the certification program. These are the questions that you are being asked. Um, and trust me, for me, I feel like these are stuff that we do every day. So the question that why do you sit, not get certified? Um, yeah, for me, I feel like it's just an opportunity. And there's one other thing that I want us to look at. Okay, that's called the flash fail in Excel. A number of friends who have actually called me for certain help on how to do certain things with Excel have been having these challenges. Um, let's look at this one. Let's just say that we have this particular list. Let me just do a list of 5 people. Let me say Yao Cranting, um, my boss Edwetete, and my only director Don Cisco. Okay, so supposing we have these names here. Okay, let me add my wife's name to it, Priscilla. At least for sugar reasons. Okay, so suppose you have this information. Okay, and you are told, probably your supervisor comes to you and tells you that, hey, is it possible to give me a list of this, but you have to divide them in first name, second name. Like, I don't know if any of us have ever had this issue. Sometimes you need to work on the information. That's how your supervisor or your boss requires you to give, I mean, to get that information. So how do you do it? So the best you can do is Excel has this thing called flash fill, and trust me, it's one of the best ways you can do this. Before that, I used to do left. I'll do left. There's a formula called left. I'll come to that though. Where you do left, and when it comes to the number of characters, you try to put in find. Um, so it's a whole lot of it's a whole lot, but it's important. It's important you know how to use it. But when this flash fill came in, trust me, work has been very easier for ourselves, and you don't have to go through all that again. So what I have to do is that if I'm looking for this is the full name, And if I'm looking for the, let's say this will be the surname, and this is the first name. What I do basically is that I just key in Okran as the surname and Edward as the first name. When I come in, I click, I do a Control E. Okay, Excel is saying that I have to do more before it can recognize it. So let me do more, and I have this one, Titus. When I do Control E, oh, what's happening? Um, let me just wait on that. Let me do this again. Once I do Okran Nano, okay, so you see automatically Excel is suggesting that um, it adds in information by itself. Okay, so it's more like it's giving me an automatic result to what I want to do. So once I click enter, everything comes in there. So if you have a list of names, okay, and your supervisor asks you to, is it possible I can get this list by in different columns? I mean the names, the full names in different columns with different headings like surnames, first name. I understand. I've seen there was an instance where a friend was actually doing this manually, and it really broke my heart. So what he did was that he was just keying them manually in there. But once you have the flash fail, trust me, you don't need to bother much. So we can do for the first name as well, Edward, Titus, and the moment I just type T and I, you see that Excel gives me the results I want, and I just click on enter. So supposing you have a wide list, okay, you have a huge list, and let's say about 10,000 rows. For myself, there have been instances where I've worked um, with data sets that have no more than 10,000, like a lot. I just want to say that there are lots of information. So supposing you have a staff information and we want you to break them down, of course, there's a way you can do this, and by just using the flash fill to work on that. And with this one too, I just want to do a giveaway, okay? And the giveaway I want to do basically would be how to create email addresses, standardized email addresses for certain organizations, for employees in certain organizations. Let me just say the email address is at, let's say at excel.com. Okay, so the name, and okay, let me just put this one in inverted commas. That's a way of writing strings in Excel. Okay, so okay, so let's say at excel.com, and probably per the policies of the organization, what they want you to do is that they want you to pick the first letter, okay, the first letter of the surname, and all sorry, the first letter of the first name and all the letters of what, of the surname. So how are you going to do that? Are you going to do them manually by saying that, okay, Yokran at excel.com, let's say Titus, let's say T nano at excel.com. Are you going to do it this way, or you are going to automate the whole process? Okay, and for me, this is how I'm going to do it. Okay, so it's saying that I should use the first letter of the first name and all the surnames. So what I can do is that there's this function we call left, and all these functions you're going to apply them when you are working on the certified office specialist exam. Okay, you need to apply all these ones to answer the questions that will you'll be asked. Okay, okay, so let's do this. So equal to, let me just use the format painter. So this is an overview apparently. If I'm to go through each and every bit of it, trust me, I'm not sure you're going to complete now. So this is just something to make you appreciate what you can do with Excel. It's a great tool that you have on your computer. And for me, I feel like once you understand what how it works and how you can operate it, yeah, it's good. Trust me, it's just good. Okay. So so we're saying that we want the first letter of the first name and the second and all, I mean, the surnames. Okay, so that's how you can create a standardized email address for your organization. Okay, so you will do this. There's this formula called, because these ones are having um I mean are improper. Proper, that's that the first letters are being capitalized. There's a way you can go about it to get them in a email format, because in the email format there's nothing like capital letters in there. You know, I think you all can all bear with me on that one. So let's do this. Okay, I'll do the first one so you can better understand what I meant by using a function called lower. So I'm just going to do the normal way as you. So how I'm going to do this, I'll start by entering the equal to sign, and that's what you do when you are actually working on any function or any formula, like when you're doing any calculation or anything that has to do with logical test or anything, test functions or anything, you need to bring the equal to sign so that it can activate whatever you are trying to do. Okay, so the equal to sign comes, then what you want to do is that you want to join the first name and the second name, but we want the first letter, just the first letter of the first name and all the surnames. So there's this function we call concatenate or concat. So concat is, I think it's in the latest versions. That's where the name was shortened to concat, because in most in most applications you don't have concatenate in there. You have concat in there. So you can say a concatenate is here. Concatenate means to join. To join, okay. Though concatenate is here, it's not. It's like there's an error symbol there. So you need to use the concat. Sorry. Um, so once you select concat, okay, you do left. That's the function called left. Okay, you click on this one here, which is Edward. Then you the number of characters that we need in this particular test is just one. We just want the first letter of the first name. Okay, let's not forget that. So let's close this one. And what do? We want to add this particular one too, which is what the entire surnames. Okay, okay. Then let's do this one as well. Let's add this one too, and let's see what happens. Okay. So as you can see, the first letter of the first name, which is E, is here. The entire of the surname is also there. I get what I'm saying. So it's like eokran at excel.com. Okay. So once you click and you drag, it will be tinano at, sorry, I was supposed to make this one absolute. Okay. Absolute means you trying to hold it or get it fixed in there so that it doesn't change its position when you are dragging it downwards. So eokran at excel.com, you double click on this and you can see that, so tinano at excel.com, y cranting at excel.com. So once every person in our organization is very much aware that, oh, okay, so our email addresses um, was actually gotten through this particular means, where you take the first letter of your first name and all of your surnames. Someone can just send you a mail by just using that particular notion in there. Say that, okay, I know that this is how I mean the structure is like, so it's easier to send you a mail in the organization. But as I said, email addresses shouldn't have these. Um, I'm not saying that when you send email addresses to these particular ones, it won't work. It will work when there are capital letters in there. But what I mean is that the structure of email addresses are mostly in lowercase. So we can just introduce um, a formula or a function called lower. Okay, so what it does is that the thing about Excel that I really enjoy using is that the moment you start keying in the function, it tells you something. It says it converts all letters in a text string to what, lowercase. So once you do that, you just bring the brackets to cover the entire thing that we've done. So once you click on enter, see that it has converted it to what, to lowercase. So it's been converted to a lowercase. I remember some time ago, a friend of mine did was working on some of these things, and after keying all the names in there, his supervisor asked her to change the surnames into caps, like everything should be in caps or should be in the uppercase. And she was doing them manually. So I got there and she wasn't so happy. I asked her why, and it felt like, okay, this is what she has been asked to do. She's done that, and now his supervisor is asking her to do everything for the surnames. It should be in capital letters. So she was doing them manually for about 200 students, which was a very sad one. So I actually taught her how to use this function called upper. So supposing you've been asked to use to convert some of this information here to all caps, like in a capital letter, all should be in caps. You can use upper. You click on this one here, enter. So the name that was in proper now is now in the uppercase, which is so easy to use. And trust me, you'll be doing some of these things in the you'll be required to do some of these. Yeah, you'll be required to do some of these, and so it's something that you need to look at. You need something that you need to be on the lookout. Um, let me see. Okay, I think the area of tables. Okay, let me just look at this one too. It's quite important that we know something about this. Supposing we have this list, let me just go try go back and pick the old one I did. Okay, let me just pick this one here. Supposing we have this information, okay, then we are asked to create a table. Okay, yes, it's asked to create a table and for this particular information here. Basically, what we can do is to just come here, click table, so insert. And I want you to have this particular understanding of how Excel work. Okay, or how Excel works, because these tabs that you are seeing, the home tab, the insert tab, they all have things under them. Okay, so once you've been asked to create a table, probably you can think through and then know that okay, this one will be under the insert tab because you need to insert a table kind of. So once you come here, you click table. So Excel is that clever to know that you are referring as in the table you highlighted or the part you highlighted is where you want the table to be created. So you just tell Excel that hey, my table has headers. So these are the headers, okay? Yeah. So once you click OK, Excel will convert this particular information here to a table, and you can format the table. And sometimes it asks these questions like, let me do this. Okay. Sometimes you are, it will require you to actually do certain things and ask you to change a particular data to a table. Okay. Yeah. And once it happens, you just do that as it's been said. Okay. hmm So we want to convert to normal range. So once you convert to normal range, it means that you are just converting it back to as it was some time ago. Yeah. So that's basically it. That's basically it. And you can be asked to do sorting. Okay, sort certain information. Once you convert to table, you can do some of these things. And if you have not converted your information to a table, you can also do sorts, where you can be asked to sort based on based on the surname, either ascending order or descending order, or so A to Z. Once you click on that, every information sorts as it should be. I get what I'm saying. So that's something small on that. And also, if you want to look at doing a filtering, if you want to filter the information, you can just come here and filter based on whatever. You can just say that I just want to show information that relates to Titus Nano, and it will just filter all that information up there. So the information is just hidden. It's not really deleted. It's hidden. So you can just come here and say that you want to clear the filters, and you still get your information as it is. And there are also instances where we ask to do hide. I mean, hide certain cells. So once you come here, you right click this. So you can see that there's this hide and unhide. Okay. Once you click on hide, the information is hidden. But you can see that it's not deleted. As you can see here, this is the column E. And after column E, there should be a column F. But right now, we're seeing column K. So now there's an information in there that has been hidden by the creator of this Excel sheet. So what we can do is we can just highlight from E to K, highlights, right click and choose on hide. Once you do that, the information opens up again for you to see what was hidden. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let me touch on some of these. Just like the mathematical formulas, okay, or functions, or anyhow you want to call them. Basically, we also do that in Excel, especially with the exponential or the exponential. Exponential. I don't want to bother myself with that word. Apparently, you can just do equal to 2 raised to the power. That's the correct or the correct. I don't know how you pronounce it. So 2 raised to the power for, let me do something that you know. 2 raised to the power 2 is 4. 2 raised to the power 3 is, I think it's 8. So once you enter, you get 8. Okay. So Excel also accepts um some of these operational symbols. Okay. Yeah, some of these operational symbols. You can do if you have you can do 2 times. So the times we are doing a shift and 8. Okay, this is how Excel sees and understands times. Okay, or multiplication. 2 times 3 is 6. I guess what I'm saying. So you can do a ref kind of where you pick 6 divided by 8, and you get your answer here. You can also convert this particular answer here to percentage. So 0.75% is obviously 75%. So once you click on this percentage, you get percentage format for your information, for your results. And also, let me speak about this particular thing that you're seeing here. For me, this one is the icing on the cake. Sometimes you are forced to format information in a way that you can use for what you want to use for. For the purpose that is intended for. Um, we can look at something. Let's look at this. Probably my date of birth. Let me just say that it's the month is on the it's in November, and the year is whatever. This is not my date of birth actually. It's just for the exhibition. Okay. So as you can see, Excel understands that this is a date. Okay, so this is particularly a date. Okay. Um. So if you want to format this particular date, there's a way you can look at it. Probably you just want to get only for the year, okay, or for the year. So you can just come here. This is an overview. So and understand that probably you may not understand almost everything that I may do, but it's just for you to appreciate how Excel works, okay. So there's this thing we call custom. Once you come to custom, you can change something about this. So supposing you have a date that has a month. Okay, in the US, the month starts before the day. Okay, so that has a month, a day, and a year. Okay, and you want to just get the year. What you don't want to alter the information or the date. You can just come here and choose Y, and Excel will just format this information here to just the year. So you can see that the information here is different from what you're seeing here. So this one is focusing on the this one is focusing on just the year, but the information in there is more. than what you are seeing here. Okay, so that's a way you can format this particular information. And this, let me touch a little bit on this information. Okay, um, the sum, count, count, count blank, average, minimum, maximum. These ones, trust me, you will really be examined on them. Yeah. So you need to look at how best you can look at. I mean, how best you can get this done. And there are some of them that are, you have to do conditional ifs. You will also be um, examining on conditional ifs. So I'll touch on this a little bit, and I will end up also looking at the conditional ifs. Okay, because this sum here actually adds up. I think I've already done that, but I also have some if and some ifs. Okay. So let's say we have a number. Okay, let me still use this function for the round between to get this. So I want them to be 1,000 and I want the top to be 3,000. Okay, so once I click, I type Control Enter, it feels as such. So let me just use the format painter to change this particular we are seeing. Let me just copy and paste as value so that it doesn't change, because the thing about this formula is that anytime you use it and you refresh the Excel sheet, it changes. So you need to note that. So we are going to use this particular information here to get the sum, to get the count, and also get the results for the counter and all that. Okay. So supposing, let's say we have some blank cells in there. Um, we're supposed to copy and paste as values. Sorry for that. As I said, if you don't paste as values and the formulas are still in there, it will still change. Mhm. Okay, so let me just come here. Okay, so let's look at something here where we look at the count. So if you have to do the sum, you have to do the counts. So these are basic, trust me, they are basic Excel stuff that once you know this, then I don't see why you don't want to get certified. Trust me, I feel like once you know this, you should get certified. Average. And also in the bio, there's a link in my bio, okay? On this streaming, I mean, you're seeing, and I want to get some few, I mean, responses from you. So once there's a Google form link in there. So just select the link or click on the link and you just fill the required details. There are some PDFs that I can share with you for those who are interested in understanding this whole thing much better way on your own, where you want to study on your own. I have this PDF and also have this sheet that I can actually send to you via mail, and so you can study on your own and write the exam. Okay, so please do well to fill that Google Sheet form. Very important. Okay, so the minimum. So the min is the minimum and the max. Sorry. Okay, and the max is the maximum. Okay. So right now, what we are seeking to do is that we want to sum this. So if you have to sum this from top to down, you get this 18561. Okay. Supposing we want to do a count, okay, a count of this particular information here. Supposing it's as huge as whatever the information is very huge, and we want you to do a count. Okay, how are you going to do the count? Are you going to do them? Are you going to count one by one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to know the number of numbers in there? Of course not. So what you can do is that you can do a count, pick this information from top to down, click on enter or control enter to stay in the cell. So all these are 9. You can do the counting if to confirm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's it. So if you want to, let's say, count cells that are not, um, it counts the counter. It counts the number of cells in a range that are not empty. So mostly when you are counting test cells or string cells, the best to do is to use counter. Don't use count. When you use count, trust me, you won't get the results you are looking for, because count only considers um numbers. Okay, so when if the whole cell is having some test strings, obviously you're not going to get the answers. Okay, the right answer that you need. So you can just highlight this one, and I'm very sure that you should get 9 for that one as well, since it's counting those cells that are not empty. Okay, and this one also counts cells that are blank. That has nothing in there. So you can just highlight this one, and it can tell you that okay, there are about, I think there are about, is it 3 or 4 blank cells? Oh, wait a minute, what happened? Oh, sorry. Okay, okay, so there are 2. Okay, and there's an average. Supposing you want to calculate an average, okay, so you can do an average of these particular numbers. So this one is mostly useful in data analysis. Yeah, so the average of all these is this. Okay, and the minimum number. So from the list, what you see Excel is asking you to do is that it's asking you to give us the minimum number of this particular range. Okay, so as you can see for ourselves here, the minimum number here is, I think it's 1216. So this, because this one is bigger than that. Okay, so let's see what Excel tells us. So the minimum or the min, from top to down, control enter. So it's giving us 1216. That's the minimum number, and the maximum number. Okay, so you can just come here. You can use this alignment. Mhm. So the maximum number, which is equal to max. Okay, pick from top to down, and I think the maximum number in there is 2982. That's what I see as the maximum number though. But let me not just stress myself. Let me just allow Excel to give me that information. Okay, so that's it, 2982. So suppose you have a wide range or an array of numbers, okay, and you need to do some summaries on them. Of course, you don't have to be using a calculator for some of these things. You just have to use Excel. And there have been instances where I've seen some people use Excel, and it's interesting. Like I can't remember. There's a time that I was doing this consultancy work for a friend. We went to this particular place, and this organization, and there was this accountant there. The lady was having a phone as a calculator. So even though the Excel, he was working on Excel, she was using the phone to do the calculations, which was very sad. So what I mean is that once you have these knowledge or these functions, there's no way you will even bother to do anything manually. Okay, there's no way you'll be and okay. So as I was saying, these are some of the questions that it will ask you on the multiplication table worksheet. Create a formula in cells B2 to C20 to complete the multiplication table of the numbers on 1 through 20. So it's something simple. It's something really simple. Yeah, it's something really simple that it will be asking you to do. So it's not much. It's not difficult. Trust me, it's not difficult. But you need to apply certain skills, certain functions, at least to be certified. And it's something that I believe that we all can do to get certified. And there's this one where you'll be also be asked to prepare a, a 2D pie chart. All these information are just right here. When you come to insert, um, when you click on pie chart, this is a 2D pie chart. Okay, so let's do something. So let me just click on this. Okay, so this is certain information that's So supposing we want to do a chart for this particular information here, how are you going to do it? It's simple. The first thing we can do is to just select this whole information here. Okay. Then you go to insert. Once you go to insert, the question demanded that says what? Um, open the Excel file one workbook and do the following. Plot the data on the Seattle worksheet as a 2D pie chart on that worksheet. So okay. So on the same worksheet. So what you do basically is that you come here, you are looking at what a pie chart. So this is a pie chart that you are seeing. So this is a 2D pie chart. This is a donut chart. Okay. So once you come here and you click 2D pie chart, this is what you are seeing for yourself. So you see that the chart has been created. It can ask you to add certain information like data labels. Okay, so this one is 73, this one is what 7, this one is 284. And the thing about pie chart is that it's good for some of these some of these details. That's when you don't have to do much. Actually, that I feel like that's when you don't have to do much. You just want to look at the data and tell which um one has the highest share so far. hmm And it can also ask you to do a lot of things by, let's say, mhm, by changing how it looks, kind of. Um, so the whole thing about the exam is that it's just trying to test your basic skills in Excel. Okay, it's just trying to test your basic skills out in Excel. And once these you have these skills, trust me, there's no way you should fail this exam. Okay, there's no way you should fail this exam. I think I've already done I've done more than an hour and I understand how time is, and I know that it's getting late in Ghana. But basically, this is what I want us to understand. I'll be doing more of this. I just want to apologize for not being able to meet up um as promised because the time was supposed to happen 7 in Ghana, and just this midnight I'm told that there was a time change. I mean the time was there was this adjustment in the time zone. Yes, so anytime that happens, I mean, so as I was around, I was just looking through this whole thing, and I was just checking my time that if it was 2 o'clock, only for me to realize that it was already 7 o'clock in Ghana. So that explains why I couldn't start as scheduled. Okay, yeah. So I just want us to understand some of these things. It's very important. Once we have this information, once we have this knowledge, trust me, we are good to go. And these are the questions that it will be asking you. It won't ask you anything so weird that you don't even know about. Yeah. When you come to these ones like this, these are simple stuff um that you can do. Yeah. So folks, I just want to end by saying that there's a lot that Excel has to offer. Okay. And there is this particular last giveaway that I want to actually do, and that has to do with something we call the Excel macros. Okay. The Excel macros is like you take to do certain things when you are using Excel. And trust me, for me, that's one of the best ways you can do your work. There are certain kind of work that you do at workplace that are highly repetitive in nature. So every now and then you still do the same thing over and over again. So what you can do with the Excel macros is that you can easily automate, I mean, the process. Okay, so that once you click a button, the information can be or everything can be done depending on how you want it to be and depending on the steps you use in recording the macro. So it's like you recorded the steps and you just sort of repeat. in, let's say, on a new data, and it works really well. It works really well. So let me just do something here. This is something I've already done, but I just want you to understand how it's like. So once this is um the input, okay. So I just put in this information here, and the information comes to join in here, okay. So supposing I use a name like Gabi, okay. Gabi, let's say Gabi Amponsan. Gabi Amponsan, let's say it's 35 years, and let's say the ID number is this. The moment I click on add to list, automatically Gabi Amponsan appears here. So I'm just going to do this last one so that you can better understand how you can automate the processes that you've been using, okay, especially in like in environments where you keep doing the same thing. You can just employ these skills to get it done. So let me just come here. Let me just copy this information. Okay. So as you can see, let me just delete some of them. Um, so what we want to do is that we want this particular information here to come here every now and then. Okay. So how do we do this? You just have to come to developer, okay. And if your Excel version is quite new, or there's a way you can open this developer tab, okay. There's a way you can open this developer tab. You have to come to file, options, okay. And so when you click on customize ribbon, okay, you can see that developer is here, has been checked, okay. There's even a draw where you can do some drawings with Excel. So let me just bring that one in here. So once you click on that and you click on OK, see that it will appear in here. So you can see that now the draw is actually here. But what we want to do is that we want to automate this process that we do, okay. So what we want to do basically is that we want to automate the steps that we do, so that once you put in information here and you click on a button, the information will just come in here to join what you are doing. So to start, what I'll do is that I'll just click on record macro, okay, and I will just name the macro and say this will be macro. Let's say macro 7, okay. That's not a big deal. I can also add a shortcut and just tell Excel that, okay, once I do control shift control U, I want you to add certain information here, okay. Let me just click okay. So now it has started recording, so the macro is recording, okay. So the first thing I want to do is that I want to bring space, okay. I want to insert a row here, sorry. Click on okay, then I just pick this information here, I copy it, then I just transpose it, okay. So once you transpose a text, it goes the other way, so it doesn't paste horizontally, but it pastes kind of, it doesn't paste vertically, but it pastes horizontally, okay. And vice versa, okay. So once now I'm able to get this information here, then what I'll do is that I just do the format painter. I just copy this one, I click on the format painter. What it does is that it puts the same features on this particular information. Now you can see that now there are no lines, no black thing in there. So once I'm done with this, I just come here to developer and I click on stop recording. So now the steps have been recorded, okay. So what I want to do is that I want to insert a button, okay. And based on that button, anytime I click on that button, I can get certain information that I'm looking at, okay. Or I can get the results that I'm expecting to get. So now it's asking me to, so I said that, okay, it should fix to macro 7 because that's where I want it to be. So I just want to, let's say, increase the size of this button. Um, okay, so let me just put in something. Let's say add to list. Okay, okay. So now that's it. So if I'm to put a name here, let's say Frank, let's say Frank Watson, and I click on add to list. Let's see what happens. You can see that Frank Watson has been added to this particular list here. So with this particular language, you can create an application, okay, where there will be a part where there's data entry thing. And once the data entry is done, you can just click on save and move to the next. I mean, like probably move to the next. So basically, there's a lot, as I keep saying, there's a lot in Excel that we need to know. That we need to know because the moment you know this one, probably you don't need to be typing in here, because someone will just put put a row here, and the person will type in. The moment you just type the information here, all you can do is to just click on add to list, and trust me, the information is sorted. So you can do something again. You can do, let's say, um, Abraham Lincoln, one of the big names in Springfield. Trust me. Okay, let's say 60 years. Let's say 60 years. Probably his ID number is, let's say, this. Moment we click here, you see that it comes in. So it's just a way of adding information in an automated way. Okay, information in an automated way. And so this is the last thing I want to really mention. I want to mention here. Okay, so thanks to everyone who watched me. And again, I want to apologize for the delay because it escaped me. It really escaped me. I was even on the phone with my wife. That's why I realized that it was even 7 o'clock in Ghana. I just didn't know. It didn't really occur to me that it was 7 o'clock in Ghana. But what I want to say is that um, I still have the I still have the Google Forms link over in my bio. What you can do basically is that you just have to click on that link, and once you click on the link, um, just give me some details about you. What do you think about this whole presentation so far? If you want to pursue the certification program, I have the PDF of this whole thing. It's a PDF. So what I'll do is that I will share everything with you. I'll share the PDF. I'll share the tutorials. The files with you, and you can learn on your own and write the exam. Well, as I said, um, with our relationship with Certiport, we can get you the exam vouchers at a discounted fee, and I've already shown you that in the presentation I did. Um, okay, so I've already shown you that in the presentation. So the thing is, it's up to you to make a choice for yourself. Understand how difficult life has been for some of us, especially for my friends in Ghana, and how the dollar has been quite interesting over the years. For some time now, and I just want to say that it's up to you to make a decision that will change your life forever. And I just want to also tell you that we live in a competitive world, and you can only compete when you are really up to the task. Okay, so you don't expect to have a 2 CD kind of, something that's not much to compete with someone who has a lot. It doesn't work that way. I believe in God. I believe in the God factor, and I believe that God has a way of blessing each and every one of us. But one thing I also know is that before you can also go far in life, you need to prepare yourself, and you need to have the needed strength. And I actually graduated in 2012, and I did this. I think I did this in 2019 also. This certification 2019, and it has really added to what I know and has really given me a facelift. Anytime I go to any place and I try to do something small in Excel, they ask me, "Wow, your skills are great." I say, "Okay, actually, I'm a certified Excel specialist." So even the brag of it, it's not that I'm bragging, as in, but of course, there's nothing really to brag about. But it gives me a facelift and it gives me some bit of recognition. And as I said, when I was applying to this particular school, University of Illinois Springfield, there was this competitive scholarship package that I applied to, and here am I in the United States. Okay, so I feel like you need more than you have now. If it's the first degree that you have, if the second degree that you have, if it's wherever that you have, I feel like you need more than you have now to actually compete in this competitive world. So for me, spending $120 or $140 for the geometrics practice test for the exam with retake will actually go a long way to actually help you achieve the aims that you want to achieve in life. And as you know, this certification is a worldwide certification. So it's not limited to the US, neither is it limited to Ghana, neither is it limited to anywhere in this world. Anywhere you go in the world, it's being recognized by all. It's been recognized by all countries because the thing about geometrics, Certifort is that they have exams in a lot of languages. So a number of students take their exams, and this one has really been a blessing to me. And I feel like it's something I can just share with you so you can better understand. So for those of you who feel like they will need extra tutorial on this whole thing, what I want to say is that you can kindly fill the Google form sheet and let me know what you think. Probably only that I can only do that at a fee because if I have to dedicate some time for you, I have to like, do that at a fee. So what I'll do is that I'll take you through the requirements one by one, bit by bit, and once you are good to go, at least I will help you write the exam. When I say I'll help you write the exam, I'm not saying I'm going to write the exam for you now. Far from that. What I mean is that I will just direct you on what to do, prepare you for the exam so that you can pass and pass well. So, folks, thanks so much for having this time with me, and I just hope that you will take that bold step to being a certified Excel specialist. And may God bless us all for the time that you spend with me. Thank you. Bye bye.